What'd your wife say?
She stood on the floor tonight.
Hurt my baby, and I did not kill him.
Killers caught on camera smiling during his sentencing.
Elkmont teenager accused of killing 5 of his family members last year is now being...
Top 5 young killers who shocked the courtroom. When we think of killers, we often picture hardened criminals, older, dangerous, with long records of violence. But what happens when the faces sitting at the defense table are teenagers?
From admitted killers caught on camera smiling.
These cases shocked not only the victims' families, but judges, juries, and the public watching around the world. They weren't just murders. They were bizarre courtroom spectacles, filled with chilling behavior, cold statements, and young defendants who showed little to no remorse for what they had done. Today, we're counting down the top 5 young killers who shocked the courtroom. And stay with us until the end, because the final case involves a 14-year-old who carried out one of the most disturbing family murders in American history. Case 1. Carly Gregg, the teen who texted after murder. In March 2022, 14-year-old Carly Gregg committed an act that would haunt Rankin County, Mississippi forever. Inside their family's Brandon home, Gregg shot her mother, 40-year-old math teacher Ashley Smiley, multiple times in her bedroom. But what shocked prosecutors wasn't just the murder, it was what happened afterward. Security footage showed Gregg calmly walking through the kitchen, a gun tucked behind her back. Moments later, the sound of gunshots and her mother's screams filled the house. And then, silence. Instead of panicking, Gregg sat on a stool, texting calmly while her 2 dogs hovered below her. She used her mother's phone to lure her stepfather home, sending the message, "When will you be home, honey?" When he walked through the door, Gregg ambushed him, firing 3 times. He survived, managing to wrestle the gun away.
She shot me in the neck. It's okay. Does she still have the gun?
Gregg even texted a friend, telling her to come over for an emergency. When the friend arrived, Gregg asked chillingly, "Have you ever seen a dead body before?" Then she led her straight to her mother's corpse. During trial, her stepfather testified,
When I opened the door to the kitchen there, gun went off in my face.
"When I opened the door to the kitchen, the gun went off in my face. She looked like she had seen a demon or something." The defense argued Carly was suffering a psychotic break after switching medications.
We believe the evidence will show that Carly had been suffering from a mental illness, that Carly was not aware on March 19th that she had a mental illness.
Claiming she was hearing voices and had lost touch with reality, but prosecutors painted her as cold and calculating, pointing to her texts and manipulation as proof of intent. In court, prosecutor Michael Smith told jurors she knew exactly what she was doing, and she knew the difference between right and wrong. The jury agreed. In less than 2 hours, Carly Gregg was convicted of murder and attempted murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Case 2. Megan Boswell, the Amber Alert lies.
For a toddler who's been missing since December.
We begin right now with breaking news. An Amber Alert issued out of Sullivan County.
The search for Evelyn Boswell continues today. The 15-month-old is still missing.
In 2020, Tennessee was shaken by the disappearance of 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell. Her mother, Megan Boswell, just 17 at the time, gave multiple TV interviews. But instead of helping, she spun lie after lie about her daughter's whereabouts. First, she claimed Evelyn was with her father.
I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, why didn't you report it missing earlier? Because my mom threatened me and I just want her back."
Then she said Evelyn's grandmother had taken her. Later, she told police the baby was with an unknown person. Meanwhile, investigators launched an Amber Alert that captured national attention. For 2.5 months, Boswell continued her deception. Prosecutor Amber Messenger told the jury,
"Megan Boswell continues to perpetuate her stories, concocting anything, blaming anyone else, Ethan Perry. For a day, 2 days, she continues that story of Ethan Perry.
She told story after story. Maybe the worst part is that she just went on with her life as if Evelyn had never even existed. The horrific truth came to light in March 2020. Evelyn's tiny body was found on the Boswell family property, stuffed inside a trash bag and hidden in a playhouse. Her face was wrapped in aluminum foil. Forensic experts testified that the baby likely suffocated. Megan Boswell's fingerprints were found on both the trash bag and the foil. Her defense claimed Evelyn's death was accidental, and Boswell panicked. They argued she was young, scared, and pressured by her boyfriend. But the jury didn't buy it. On February 13, 2024, Megan Boswell was convicted of murder, child abuse, and tampering with evidence. She was sentenced to life in prison, eligible for parole only after 51 years. She never took the stand. She never explained why. Case 3, Gary Hurt, the Eagle Scout killer. Next, a case that shocked a quiet Wisconsin community. In 2003, 17-year-old Gary Hurt seemed like the perfect American teenager, an Eagle Scout, star athlete, and straight-A student. But behind that image was something much darker. One August night, Hurt lured 37-year-old substitute teacher Glenn Kopitsky to his home. What happened next was chilling. Kopitsky was shot and stabbed to death. Hurt later admitted to the murder, but his explanation left the courtroom stunned. He claimed he had a homosexual encounter with Kopitsky that sent him into a rage, leaving him unable to tell right from wrong. But prosecutors had another theory, that Hurt wanted to see if he could get away with murder. District Attorney Will Lennon told reporters Gary Hurt had seemingly accomplished everything, and he thought he would do the most outrageous thing, the event that would really make people go, "Wow, I don't believe it." In an interview before sentencing, Hurt showed no remorse, saying, "There's no reason I should be held accountable for this. That's just the way I feel. I can't change that." The jury rejected his insanity defense, and Hurt was sentenced to life in prison with parole eligibility after 32 years. Case 4, Donta Wright, the smirking teen killer. In 2017, the family of 18-year-old Jordan Klee filled the Michigan courtroom to give their victim impact statements. Their son had been gunned down during a robbery by 17-year-old Donta Wright. But as the family described their pain,
that you felt the need to murder my son was worth the next at least 52 years of your continued existence.
17-year-old Donta sat at the defense table smiling, almost laughing. Jordan's mother's letter read aloud in court said,
"I lost my only child, my son, my baby, my friend. More than that, I've lost laughter.
I've lost my only child, my son, my baby, my friend. More than that, I lost laughter and love." As the words echoed through the room, Wright leaned back, smirking. The judge was furious, telling him directly, "Watching you sit there, smile, laugh, shake your head like this was no big deal.
But watching you sit there, smile and laugh and shake your head like this was no big deal.
I'm tempted to say I won't accept this sentencing agreement. You'll die in prison. That's what I'm tempted to do." But the family, desperate for closure, asked the court not to go to trial. Wright's lawyer later claimed his smirking was a nervous reaction, not mockery. Still, the image of a teen grinning during his murder sentencing shocked the public. Wright was sentenced to 23 to 50 years in prison. Case 5, Mason Sisk, the teen who killed his entire family. Our final case may be the most disturbing of all.
He's the Elkmont teenager who is accused of killing 5 of his family members in 2019.
In September 2019, police arrived at a quiet home in Elkmont, Alabama. Inside, they found the bodies of John Sisk, 38, Mary Sisk, 35, and their 3 children, 6-year-old Kane, 4-year-old Aurora, and 6-month-old Colson. All had been shot in the head as they lay in bed. The killer? Their own son and brother, 14-year-old Mason Sisk. At first, Mason told police he was playing video games in the basement when he heard gunshots, but eventually he confessed to pulling the trigger. Judge Chadwick Wise called the murders ghastly, disturbing, and draped in unmitigated evil.
Scared because they think there's a monster under their bed. Well, Mason Sisk was that monster. He was that monster in that basement who killed those children.
Despite his age, Wise ruled this was one of the rare cases where life without parole was appropriate for a juvenile. Prosecutors described Mason as emotionless, even dangerous. District Attorney Brian Jones later said, "Out of all the people I've prosecuted, only 4 or 5 truly scared the hell out of me, and Mason is at the top of that list." Mason Sisk, now 18, will never walk free again. Conclusion. These cases reveal something chilling. Age does not always equal innocence. From cold smiles to calculated lies, these young defendants shocked the courtroom and the world with their lack of remorse. Which of these cases disturbed you the most? Was it the girl who calmly texted after killing her mother, or the teen who murdered his entire family in their sleep? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this video as shocking as we did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us bring you more detailed true crime stories, the ones that show us that sometimes truth really is stranger and darker than fiction. Until next time, stay safe.